Gone. All praise to the five everybody's of Jacob. Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel. The brothers from these out of Zion will introduce themselves. Gone.
Khan, this is Captain Zamar, LOZLeeCounty. County. All praise to the Most High Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob for truly His mercy endureth forever. Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel. Shalom.
Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel. This is Captain Kyron for the lot of Zion, Lee County. All praises.
Shalom, shalom. All praise to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is your officer Obadiah. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, shalom. All praise to the Most High. This is Officer Ash from the Light of Zion.
Shalom, this is Officer Nathaniel from the LOZLeeCounty. Hallelujah.
Gone. All praise to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel. If you're just tuning in, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the video. Right? Share it to the brothers and sisters that was just taking down that ham. Right? That was taking down that cornbread. Right? What that song? Ham. Right? Potatoes, all that. What was that song? You know? Right?
Khan, beans,
Right.
potatoes,
Hey, green
tomatoes.
beans. Right? Yeah, send that to that family member that got the right.
sin.
Send, right? Right. Send this video over to that family member that got the leftover pork in the fridge. Right.
Khan.
The file in the refrigerator. You got the filed pots and pans and spoons now. Right.
Khan.
Right. Send that to that family member that asked you why you ain't show up to Thanksgiving. Right. Send it to that family member that said we got another plate for you. Right. Send it to the family member that said it's just a family day. Right? Send it to that family member, man. Right? We teaching the truth of the Bible, right? The so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are the true Jews, the children of Israel, right? We are the people that the Most High made a covenant with, right? Who the Messiah died for. All praise to the power of everybody, Isaac and Jacob. So we're gonna open up with the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. Baba Kashah, Officer Asher, can you bring it up, please, Baba Kashah? The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. Right? So we see what's going on. The Most High's judgment is in the earth. His spirit is in the earth. Right? The Most High Spirit is waking up this earth, waking up the people, right? The chosen people of God, right? The 12 tribes of Israel, right? And the Most High also has the spirits of vengeance in the earth as well, right? Khan, bring it out when you got that, King.
There's the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Ottawa Yahushua, giving thanks to the Ottawa and the Father by him.
Right. So everything that we do in word or deed, we do all in to glory the Most High and His Son, right? Right. To not defile His name or His reputation. All praise to the power of Abraham, Jacob. So we see what's going on, right? The Most High has the spirits of vengeance in the earth, right? The Most High said He has spirits created for vengeance, right? So it says, Virginia Walmart gunman left a death note saying he felt harassed by coworkers, right? So just recently there was a shooting at a Walmart, if I'm not mistaken, let's see here. So we're gonna get into the article. In Virginia. Can one of the brothers read that, Baba Kusha? It's the article that we got in front of me. On the
Khan,
screen.
it says, can you hear me?
Khan, I can hear you.
Okay, Khan. It says officials in Chesapeake, Virginia confirmed in a statement that the Walmart supervisor who fatally shot 6 co-workers inside the store on Tuesday left a note in his phone in which he described being harassed. Sorry, everyone, but I did not plan this. I promise things just fell in place like I was led by the Satan. Andre Bing wrote in a letter titled Death Note that was stored on his phone. My only wish would have been to start over from scratch and that my parents would. Could you scroll up some? Con, and that my parents would have paid closer attention to my social deficits. Police also confirmed on Friday that Bing used a 9mm handgun, which was legally purchased in the morning of the shooting. A box of ammunition and a receipt for the gun were discovered during a police search of his home. The note was... Go ahead.
Slakia, Con, that's crazy. Hold on. The brother said, sorry, everyone, but I did not plan this. I promise things just fell in place like I was led by the Satan. Right? I was led by the Satan. The brother basically saying he got an evil spirit on him.
That's right.
The Most High put an evil spirit on that brother. Give me the book of Judges, chapter 9, verse 23. Right?
Go.
The book of Judges, chapter 9, Judges, chapter 9, verse 23.
Con.
All right, that's not no coincidence. All right, he said he don't know what came over him.
9 and 3.
Judges 9 and 23, Baba Bashar.
9 and 23. Con. This is the book of Judges, chapter 9 and verse 23.
Right.
Then the Most High sent an evil spirit.
He did what?
He sent an evil spirit.
You see, the Most High, he can send an evil spirit. The Most High is the one that sends the evil spirit. A lot of Christians today in the Christian church, they say, oh, that was Satan and his angels. Right?
Con.
That was the devil. Right? The Most High God is the one that sends these evil spirits, man.
Con.
The Most High said he has angels on his right-hand side and on his left-hand side. This is the Most High. He controls these things. Right? He controls good and evil. Right? He has the power to kill and to destroy, right? To lift up and bring down. We know the precepts. We can bring those out. Right? But the Most High, he has a spiritual, quote unquote, what'd you say? A spiritual meeting, right? A meeting, a council with the angels on the right-hand side and the angels on the left-hand side.
Con.
The brother said, right, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Salaki, just like in Psalms 83, it talks about they have created a crafty counsel against us. The Most High creates a counsel, right? Against the sinners of Israel, whether it be good or whether it be bad. He creates that counsel, just like you were saying, Cap. Go ahead.
Con. Let me get that in First Kings. That's Salaki, not First Kings. First Kings 22 and 16. Right. Let me get that left hand and right hand side, right? The book of First Kings.
I got you.
Con, is that what I want? First Kings 20. Get there right.
Oh no, that's not what you want.
Is it first?
Let's see right here. And 19, First Kings 22 and 19, if I'm mistaken.
Con, yeah.
First Kings 22 and 19, that's what I want.
Con,
can you read that Bible shot? First Kings 22 and 19. Right, going into that council. Right.
This is the book of First Kings, chapter 22 and verse 19. And he said, "Hear thou therefore the word of the Most High. I saw the Most High sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left."
Right. So the Most High has angels on his right hand side and on his left hand side. Right. The Most High has spirits created for vengeance. He has spirits created for healing. He has spirits created for wisdom and instruction and direction. Right. The Most High has angels set for different purposes. Right. He has a host of heaven that he can command in front of him. Right. That he can allow someone to send an evil spirit, a lying spirit. Right. These things are operated in the heavens, and the Most High has full control over these things. Right. The Most High is the one that commands the angels. Right. Let me get the book of Second Chronicles. Right. It's like First Chronicles chapter 21 verse 27. Right. First Chronicles chapter 21 verse 27.
This is the book of First Chronicles chapter 21 and verse 27. And the Most High commanded the angel, and he put up commanded the angel.
No, the angel disobeyed him.
And the Most High commanded the angel.
Right. The Most High, he commands the angels. The Most High is the one that has authority and control in the heavens. He's the one that commands the angels. He's the one that's able to send out these evil spirits that cause havoc upon the earth. It's the Most High that did that. Right? The Most High is the one that allows these things to happen. Right? These are the things that we see that's operated by the Most High. Go ahead.
Precept, Cap. It's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 14. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. Right? So the most, like Cap was just saying, the Most High sending these evil spirits, man.
Read that again, King. Read that again, 1 Samuel 16 and 14.
Con, the book of First Samuel, chapter 16, verse 14.
Right. I want to break this down because it's a powerful verse. Right. So read that from the top, Baba Kushal.
It says, but the spirit of the Lord departed from Saul.
So the first thing that happened, the spirit of the Lord departed from Saul. Right. The spirit of the Lord departed from Saul. Like as you read it, that kind of reminds me in Mark, if I'm not mistaken, how it talks about the spirits need to find a place to dwell. Right. They just go, if I'm not mistaken, I pull that up, right? But there's spirits that don't have a place to dwell. So it says the first thing that happened is that the spirit of the Lord departed from Saul. Keep going.
Okay. And an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him.
Right. So he loses the spirit of the Lord, and then he gains an evil spirit, man. Right. This is what you call spiritual warfare documented in the scriptures, right? And Esau gets his movies off of this right here, right? This is where Esau being this is where they get all these movies, right? It's where you get the paranormal activities, right? The exorcism, right? All these different movies that you see are inspired. It's from the inspiration of the scriptures. This is where you get these movies from, man. Right? You have that good spirit of that spirit of the Most High, and that spirit doesn't just leave you when you left vacant. No, that spirit is left, and now you have an evil spirit, right? That is a nigga, let him be a nigga spirit, right? That's the spirit that's put upon you. The brother said that I was led by the Satan. He was led by the spirit. Right, the spirit, whatever spirit he had in the brother, the Most High put that spirit of vengeance on him. I was led by the Satan. Right,
Connie, when you bring out these scriptures, right? These are scriptures that Christians that claim that they follow the Most High or they claim that they follow Christ call themselves, they proclaim themselves to be Christians. They have no idea what these scriptures actually say. They be so quick to say God doesn't do evil. They be so quick to say, it was Satan, so on and so forth. Somebody give me Job chapter 2 and verse 9, Bob Kusha. Job chapter 2 verse 9. They hear that, they say these things all the time, and it just lets you know that they're ignorant to what the scriptures actually say. First 2 Timothy 2 and 15 says, study to show thyself approved. That way we know what's really going on, because people say things all the time. Doctrines are created. That's why you got how many different religions is it? What,
41,000 denominations,
41,000 denominations of a book that's our heritage, not a religion. And see, and that goes to show that people don't, because if people read it, like why are there not 41,000 different types of medicine, right? To do a specific surgery. There's not 41,000 different methods. There's one or maybe two, right? Depending on the situation. But it's streamlined because they have to study and they have to be proven. But when it comes to the scriptures, people don't have to be proven. That's why you got all of these different doctrines, because nobody is proven in what is actually true. Whoever got that, read that, Baba Kusha.
This is the book of Job, chapter 2, verse 9.
Then
said the book of Job, chapter 2, verse 9. Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die.
Right.
But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High? And shall we not receive evil?
Shall we not receive evil from the hands of the Most High? He's going to give good and he's going to dish out evil. It has nothing to do with Satan. Satan has to report to the Most High, right? So all of these different doctrines and thought processes of what evil is and where it comes from, people are ignorant to what the scriptures actually say. The Most High does good and he does evil. Last scripture, somebody give me Deuteronomy 32 and 39, Baba Kusha. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. Let's put the nail in the coffin, because people got to understand what's real when it comes to the scriptures. People, like the scriptures say, what we say, what the scriptures say, we know what we serve. We know what we serve.
Right.
We serve the Most High,
right? That's right.
We know what we worship. We worship the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Not this false homosexual God that everybody thinks is all love and hugs and giving out lollipops and stuff like that. Our God is the man of war, right? Read that, Baba Kusha.
Con. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 39.
Mm-hmm. Con. Hello?
Con, I'll get that
Neither
for you.
is there any that can
Oh,
deliver out of my hand.
Oh, it
Salaki,
went.
can you cut out, King?
Con.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Con, yeah, we can hear you.
All right, Con. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 39.
Uh-huh.
See now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
Con, all praises to the Most High for the babies that we got. Most High, increase in Israel. Hallelujah. But Con, scriptures say, even I am him. I kill and I make alive. Right? People look at as killing as evil, and that's what took place. It was evil. The Most High sent that evil, and He said, "There is no God with me." Right? God means power, and Satan is a power. But Satan is not with the Most High when he's making these decisions. They are his agents that do what he commands them to do. So we have to understand that as Israelites, and knowing our power, knowing our God, who we serve, we got to know that He does good and He does evil. Right?
Con, I got one more scripture. Con, this is the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 37. Who is he that saith, and it cometh to pass, when the Most High commandeth it not? Out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good? Right? Wherefore does a living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins? Right? So we see the Most High, out of his mouth comes evil and good. That is the power that we serve. People say they know God, they love God, but they don't really know who the God they serve, man. All
Con.
right, they don't truly understand that the Most High is a terrible power, right? So you see the man, he was under a spirit, right? He had a spirit on him. Said, sorry, everyone, but I did not plan this. I promised things just fell in place like I was led by Satan. Andrew Bing wrote in a letter titled Death Note that was stored in his phone. Now, when you look up, there's actually an anime called Death Note, right? Now, if brothers and sisters not familiar with Death Note, goes into a story about a dude that pretty much finds I hope I'm doing it justice, but he finds a book on the floor that was dropped by some sort of death angel, right? And when he finds this book, he finds out that every name, if I'm not mistaken, I hope I'm explaining it correctly, but every name that he puts in that book, that person eventually dies.
Yeah.
Right? So he pretty much, will put a name in that book, and then he was kind of testing it out and seeing, okay, I'll put a name in here, see what happens. He didn't notice it at first until it came to a point where he noticed, like, oh well, every time I put a name in there, somebody will pass away, right? And then it became like a weapon that he was using and things like that. But the brother, he said that he called it the Death Note, right? So clearly, the spirit that he had was the names that he was going to put in his phone or put in that note was going to be who he wanted to take out that day. Now, there's a witness that was saying how there was one of the women, one of the survivors, and she was saying how when he just came in there, he just started, spraying it out. You see what I mean? But we see that's a spiritual thing, man. We see the spiritual aspect of that shooting. We continue reading from the note, Baba Kusha. I'll continue reading from that point on. The note which authorities redacted in a several places. The note which authorities redacted in a several places to protect the names of specific people described how Bing lost his dignity when he believed his phone was hacked. I was harassed by idiots with low intelligence and a lack of wisdom, he wrote. The associates gave me evil, twisted grins, mocked me, and celebrated my downfall the last day. Right? So,
So, Khan Salakia, I was on mute. I was going to read that for Salakia. So, you got to. So, is there more? Go ahead.
Khan. Damn. Khan, I'll finish it up. It says Bing was found dead inside the break room from what police say was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police say he had no criminal history and was dressed in civilian clothing without body armor. Right? In a statement, Walmart said Bing had been employed with the company since 2010. His position at the time of the shooting was overnight team lead. Tuesday's night violence was the nation's second high-profile mass shooting in 4 days and the second high-profile supermarket shooting this year. Police have identified the victims as Brian Pendleton, Kelly Pyle, Lorenzo Gamble, Randy Blevins, and Fernando Chavez Barron, 16, who were all from Chesapeake. Tynika Johnson, 22, of nearby Portsmouth, was also among the dead. A Walmart spokesperson confirmed in the Evo that all of the victims worked for the company. Another 4 people were hospitalized in the shooting, which happened just after 10 p.m. Eastern. Police say there were about 50 people in the store at the time. Many were stocking up ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. Right?
Uh-huh.
You see that? Right? It's not a coincidence, man.
Nope.
Right? These things are not coincidences, man.
Now,
right?
Block Cap, I kind of want to dive into this a little bit. And now, this is just speculation because nothing has been articulated to be fact, right? In regards to what the bullying is, or talking about him, or whatever made him feel uncomfortable, so on and so forth. That was described vaguely in the statement, right? But if you look at the brother's picture, just look at the brother's picture. The brothers, it seemed like these are spirits. And it looks like the brother has a spirit on him. It looks like he has a sodomite spirit on him. He has a very feminine look about him. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but my spirit is telling me that this is what's going on with this brother. This is what people are picking on him about, or talking about him, or whatever, because he said his phone was hacked. Maybe they saw some homosexual activity going on in his phone, whatever it may be. But we know that this is a spirit, right? So the other thing that I like to point out is that they never talked about or articulated what the issue was, right? Because I'm sure, because right now they're giving vague information out of what he wrote in his phone. They're not being specific. They're not saying anything about his sexuality. And I guarantee, because what else could it be? Did he have a handicap? Did he have a mental disability? I doubt it. The only thing from my visualization of the situation and my interpretation of the situation, it has to be that, right? And that's because we know that it's a spirit and it's also a mental disorder, homosexuality. So is somebody having that type of demon on them, that demon can get riled up and do things like this, right? So, but you notice that because this is the agenda that's in America, they won't articulate that's what it is. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to come out at some point. But I believe that's what it is, because when we look at the other shooting that took place in Utah, that was a shooting at a gay club, right? So, we have to use our spiritual eyes when we're looking at these situations and be able to discern the difference and understand what it is that's happening. And this is all the Most High. He's not happy with the stuff that's going on. It's just like Sodom and Gomorrah. The Most High is going to judge. He's going to judge. And this is what we're seeing across the United States, across the nation.
Don, I had a precept. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places seeking rest and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. So, we know that unclean spirits are walking through this dry place we call earth, looking for a vessel to take hold of, just as the parasite is looking for a being to leech off of. Yeah, a host. They're walking through that dry place, looking for a host, looking for rest. Because when that spirit latches onto you, it finds rest on you. It rests there. you know. And when you fast and you get these spirits off you, eventually they leave, but you got to keep up your walls and your shields and your armor for when they do come back and try to knock on your door again.
And that's powerful because, you know, scriptures talk about Satan walks around looking to whom he may devour. And what happens when a parasite finds a host? It devours that host from the inside out, right? And that's a powerful precept. Powerful precept.
Excellent precept, and that kind of segues us into this next topic about it's a gunman that kills 5 out of Alphabet Club, right? The alphabeticals.
The alphabeticals.
Right? The alphabeticals, right? And it says gunman kills 5 at Alphabet nightclub in Colorado Springs before patrons confronted stopping police say. Let's see what they got going on in this video. I don't know if they're gonna break it down.
With Metro.
Fair use in the chat.
Fair use.
Oh, it's not slot. What?
Just released after a deadly mass shooting at an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado. Police finished a news conference moments ago where they identified the suspect, who is now in custody. At least 5 people were killed, another 18 were injured. The shooting happened just before midnight at Club Q in Colorado Springs. They say 2 people inside the club fought to stop the carnage.
Initial evidence and interviews indicate that the suspect entered Club Q and immediately began shooting at people inside as he moved further into the club. While the suspect was inside of the club, at least 2 heroic people inside the club confronted and fought with the suspect and were able to stop the suspect from continuing to kill and harm others. We owe them a great debt of thanks.
CNN's Nadia Romero is following all the latest developments. All right, what more are police saying at this point?
Well, Paula, we learned so much in that press conference, but still so many unanswered questions. So let's start first with the victims. We know that at this point, there are 5 people who were killed, 18 others injured, but that number could change, could fluctuate over the rest of today and over the next couple of days. We know that so many people are still within the ICUs. 3 different hospitals right now are treating some of those patients, have treated some and released them. Others still remain in the ICU with critical injuries. And we know that they were transported by ambulance, by police patrol cars, and some people self-transported. They took themselves to the hospital. So that's why that number has fluctuated in the overnight morning hours and could change throughout the day. Now, family members are still being notified about those who have been impacted, those injured and those killed. That happens first before their names will be released to the public. So we do not know the names of any of the victims at this point. Now let's talk about the suspect. His name was released at this press conference, 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich. That's who police say is the suspect. And witnesses say that he entered that nightclub, Club Q in Colorado Springs, and immediately opened fire. And that's when we learned, as you just heard, that at least 2 people inside of the club were able to tackle him, disarm him before police arrived to stop the shooting from happening before more people were injured. Now, we're still trying to figure out that suspect's motive. We asked the police, different media people asked the police during that press conference, what was the motive? If you look at the statement that was released by Club Q on their Facebook page, very clearly, they believe that they were targeted because this is an LGBTQ community, a nightclub. They were supposed to be celebrating today, Transgender Remembrance Day, having a drag show as well. That's not happening.
Hold on. They was doing what? Hold on.
LGBTQ. What was the motive? If you look at the statement that was released by Club Q on their Facebook page, very clearly, they believe that they were targeted because this is an LGBTQ community, a nightclub. They were supposed to be celebrating today, Transgender Remembrance Day, having a drag show as well.
All right, we got to be very careful, brothers. We got to be very, very careful about what we say about this topic. All right? Let's be very, very careful. All right. Now, let me just finish the video. Let's be very, very careful, brothers.
That's not happening, that celebration. Instead, in a process of mourning right now.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Calm. So, the Most High, let me just get the book of Sirach, chapter 39, man. Let me get the book of Sirach. All right. The book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 28.
No, I
Right,
got
the
you.
book of
That's the spirit.
Con.
I was gonna bring that.
Con.
Got you.
I don't want to speak too much on it, right? But my powerful Benjamin brother would say, right? Officer Nathaniela, right? Puffer, right? Solomon, starfish, right? We're not gonna get to
Oh man.
right? They said it was Optimus Prime, Megatron, Remembrance Day,
Transformers.
right?
The Transformers.
The Most High gave them something to remember.
Come.
Yeah.
Come. Now it's gonna be a memorial, right? Right. Bumblebee, right?
Starscream.
Megatron.
Right. Decepticon,
Right.
Decepticon Dave, right? They said, and it's crazy how, the news reporters are kind of acting oblivious. We don't know why he targeted that specific club alphabet. Right? It said Club Q. That's wild, man. That's not even on the spectrum of the alphabet, right? I thought it was.
It is. It's on the. It's on the Q.
It's on the alphabet.
Yeah, LGBTQ. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's on there.
Yeah, it's on there.
Club Queer.
Oh.
Right.
Club Starfish.
Solomon Putty.
All right. Come on, let's bring it out. Come on, let's bring it out, man. Sirach 39 and 28, Baba Gashar.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 28. Mm-hmm. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force.
They do what?
And appease. They pour out their force.
They pour out their force. Keep going.
And appease the wrath of him that made them.
What does that mean? They appease the wrath of him that made him. Right? Look at that word appease. It says pacify or placate, summoned by acceding to their demands. Right? To relieve or satisfy. Right? Keep going on that.
Con, verse 29. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance.
Fire
upon that.
Brimstone. Right?
Con. Fire
Keep
upon
going.
that. Con, verse 30. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction.
Doing what?
Punishing the wicked to destruction.
That's the gospel, right? That's the gospel of judgment right there, right? Punishing the wicked to destruction. Now we just read in that last article, right? The brother saying he was led by the Satan. Now this brother, right? He was led by the Satan. He was led by a spirit of destruction. He probably claimed the same thing. He was led, right, by an evil spirit that the Most High put on the earth. Keep going on that, verse 31.
Con, verse 31. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth. When need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word.
The Most High's angels does not transgress his word. They do not transgress the commandment that's given to the angels. The Most High is in charge of the host of heaven. He has control over everything in the earth. The Most High has the power to control these angels. He has the power to do these things because he is the Most High. He does whatsoever he pleases. He is a terrible power. To him belongeth the issues of death. Right? Let me get that. Psalm 66, if I'm not mistaken. Right? To him belongeth the issues of death.
Psalm 66 and what?
Let me pull it up right quick. Psalm 66. And that's what I have. Psalm 66. That's what I want. For him belongeth the issues of death. Let me get that right quick. 1 second. Let me pull this up real quick. Psalm 68 and 20, Salakia. All right, Psalm 68 and 20.
Con, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 68 and verse 20.
Right.
He that is our power is the power of salvation, and unto the Most High, the Ottawan, belong the issues from death.
Right. So he is the one that distributes, right, the death penalty. Right. He is the one that sends out that hit. Right. He sends out the hit. Right. That's the Most High. To him belong the issues from death.
Right? Con, the Most High is the top shata.
Right. Right. You see, that's the Most High, man. Right. Con. So we're gonna jump into this last video. Now, I don't necessarily subscribe to everything that this brother teaches or puts out. It was actually something I've seen recommended from another channel that I follow, and the brother, he was speaking in favor of Kyrie, and I kind of wanted to just go into what the brother was bringing out, and just kind of seeing what the brother was saying. Apparently he was pretty much in favor of the things that Kyrie was saying. So we're just gonna jump into it. If brothers obviously have any precepts, just bring it out. Fair use in the chat. All praise to the Most High. For everybody that's tuning in, continue to like the stream. I know somebody right now is looking at a ham in the fridge right now. Send that brother this video. Let him know that the Most High's judgment is upon the earth. Right?
Bring that out.
Right? That the lukewarm Christians will be spewed out, man. Right? The Most High is not dealing with that lukewarm spirit. Right?
Come on. That honey baked ham spirit.
Right, that honey baked ham spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That chitlin spirit.
That chitlin spirit.
Right? Brother, I've seen chitlins, bro. That's a delicacy?
That's a chitlin demon, Ock. That's not a spirit, that's a demon.
Yo. Chitlins it looks disgusting, man.
It
like
is,
what? We'll try.
Judah.
Come on, man.
The fact that a Judite agreed. The fact that a Judite admitted to that's a lot.
Chitlins.
Hey, the scriptures say confess thy sins.
The Judite admitted that. Man, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, wicked as hell. I think that's almost more wicked than being a whoremonger. That's crazy. I'm ashamed of that one, Ock.
Yeah, that's a crazy precept, Ock. I seen a post. Brother had waffles and chitlins. I said, that's the breakdown.
What Adam said?
Chitlins?
What Adam said? Because my mama used to make them, right? It wasn't my dad. My mom used to make them. What Adam said about Eve? You gave me this woman,
right?
I was. It wasn't my choice. I ain't never made them. Salak, I'm tripping. Salak.
Right? Brothers. Brothers love. What brothers love to justify their chitlins and they ham. They love Acts 10, right? They love 1 Timothy 4. They love Romans 14, right? And we understand Paul, Paul would not teach against the law that he keeps himself. Right? Paul's not teaching against the law that he keeps himself. Right? Paul said he obeys every law that was given by his ancestors. Let me get that right quick. Right? Let me get that in the book of Galatians. Right? Galatians. So Christians say that. Galatians. We get the book of Galatians 1:14 in the CEV. Right?
Oh, the CEV. Let me see if I can find that.
Con. Galatians 1:14 in the CEV. Right? Our forefathers, right? The prophets, the apostles, these were devout men devoted to the law of the Most High. Right? Devoted to the law of the Most High. A lot of the Christians today, man, they lukewarm. It's not what goes into you that defiles you, brother. Right? Do you understand what Yahushua was teaching? So Yahushua was teaching to keep the law, but in the same breath, debunking the law or eradicating the law. We got to make up our mind, man. Right?
Con, I got that for you, Cap.
Con. Galatians 1:14,
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 1 and verse 14 in the CEV.
Right.
I was a much better Jew than anyone else my own age. And I obeyed every law our ancestors had given us.
Right. Paul is saying he obeyed every law that his ancestor was given to him. Right. That wasn't on that. Right. He obeyed every law that was given to us that came from his ancestors. He was not eating shellfish. He was not eating those chitlins in the fridge. So why then would he teach you to do it? Right?
Con.
The things that Paul was teaching was from the law. The things that we're saying, let me get the book of 1 Corinthians 9 and 8. The things that he was saying, right, was reinforced by the law. He was not teaching contrary. Everybody loves Romans 14, but what about Romans 3 and 31? What about
bring that out.
2 and 13? Is he contradicting himself in the same letter? In one breath, he's saying that you can eat whatever you want, but in another breath, he's saying we're not making void the law, that the people that keep this law is justified. I'm not trying to touch all the doctrines out there, but you got to understand Paul was a law keeper. Paul kept Torah.
Con.
Right? I want to just show this for it. 1 Corinthians 9 and 8, Baba Gusha. Make sure you're sending it to the leftover family, the family members. I got the leftovers in the fridge. You know we got a little bit more of that ham.
What Paul said? Did he say something to the effect of I'm a Pharisee of the Pharisees, or he said
I'm a Pharisee of the Pharisees. That's right.
Con.
I'm a Hebrew of Hebrews.
Hebrew of Hebrews. Right. I know this law. You can't play with me when it comes to this word. Paul was magnifying the law pursuant to Isaiah 42:21, if I'm not mistaken. He magnified the law. He didn't disannul the law. He didn't say that the law was done away with. He magnified the law. Right. Con, this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 8.
Right.
Say I these things as a man, or say not the law the same also.
So look how Paul's rebuking the church. Do I say these things as a man? Right? When we say not to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Do we say these things just as a man? Do we just say these things just as mere men? Right? Or where are we getting this from? Are we just making it up ourselves? Right? Read that latter part again. Are we just saying these things as a man? Keep going.
Con. Say I these things as a man, or say if not the law the same also?
The law says the same thing. Right? For it is written in the law of Moses. Right? So the things that Paul is saying when he's teaching the churches, right? He's using the law to reinforce the doctrine that he's teaching. Why would he then use the law to reinforce something that should be null and void? Why would he reference the law if it's null and void? Right? Why would he use the law to rebuke the church if it was null and void? He's saying, yo, I'm not saying this on my own accord. I'm not making this up on my own. This is what the law says. So when we tell our people, you gotta keep the commandments, right? Keep the Sabbath days, right? Don't keep Thanksgiving, right? Stop eating shrimp, chitlins, pork, crab, and lobster. When we say these things, are we saying this as a man? No, the law says the same. The law says the same thing also, right? We use the law to reinforce the things that we're teaching, and a lot of people hate that. They hate the law, right? So we're gonna jump into this video right here. That's kind of my first time watching. Didn't really go too much, didn't watch too much of it. So we kind of just watching it together as a family, right? So I'm gonna play the video. If brothers have any points they want to bring out, just say con, and we can move forward from there.
Let's say Kyrie Irving thought he was a woman rather than an Israelite.
Hold on, brother.
Hey,
what?
A what? A what? A who?
Let's say Kyrie Irving thought he was a woman rather than an Israelite.
Hold on, sir.
We gotta forget it, brother.
All right, yeah, forget it, brother. Right?
Yes. Niggas being niggas, man.
Right?
Niggas is definitely being niggas.
All right, so let me just put that definition in the chat. Let me just pull this up real quick.
What you putting Israeli?
I think the brother be drinking your show.
See, drinking on the show, God. So we understand an Israeli is a native or an inhabitant of the land. That's an Israeli, right? Now, an Israelite is a descendant of the man named Jacob, right? An Israeli is an inhabitant of the land of Israel. An Israelite is a descendant from the man named Israel, right? So this is what the difference is between an Israeli and an Israelite, right? So all praises. I don't watch the video, but from what I heard him say so far, when I was watching kind of a little bit of it, he doesn't refer to us as black Hebrew Israelites. All right, everybody knows that triggers me, right? Because that's a term that's put upon our people for no reason. Right? We the so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans, these are also Israelites. Right? So the whole black Hebrew Israelites, it's very disingenuous because that kind of creates that whole idea that our doctrine is predicated off of skin color, right? That is based off of, well, if you have black skin, then that means that you're gonna get to heaven. That's how they usually summarize the doctrine that we teach, when that's not what we teach at all. Right. So all praise to the brother. So you're gonna give the brother grace, Israelite, right? So keep going on.
Joe Biden would honor the NBA star with a Medal of Freedom.
Hold on, but the brother said something powerful though. Right? He said, what if he came out saying that he was a woman other than a man? Right? They'll be applauding him.
Let's say Kyrie Irving thought he was a woman rather than an Israelite. Joe Biden would honor the NBA star with a Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor. Barack and Michelle Obama would host a gay-led Martha's Vineyard for the 12-year pro. The founders of Black Lives Matter would welcome the point guard to one of their mansions to discuss the brilliance of Karl Marx. ESPN would hand the Nets player multiple ESPY awards for courage. The New York Times would write glowing feature stories. Hip-hop music executive Lear Cohen would insist that Little Nasty X, Cardi B, and Jay-Z make a posse cut extolling Irving.
Yo, Little Nasty X.
Yo, this man here, bro.
Nasty X.
He snapped.
We're gonna have to use that. Yeah,
Little Nasty X. That's funny, man.
Right? No, he's spitting right now. He's dropping game right now. God, Little Nasty X.
Irving's beauty. All the blue check pundits pretending that Irving's tweet of a movie poster was an existential threat to Jewish people would champion Irving as a historic trailblazer, and many of them would secretly slide into his DMs. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver might go as far as paying.
Salakia, hold on. I don't know if I caught what he said. Is he saying that after he pretty much dropped the link, the same people that was rebuking him is kind of in his DMs? Is that what he said? Let me pull that back. Hold on.
Extolling Irving's beauty. All the blue check pundits pretending that Irving's tweet of a movie poster was an existential threat to Jewish people would champion Irving as a historic trailblazer, and many of them would secretly slide into his DMs.
Oh,
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
He's saying a lot of these people that would champion him because he said he was a woman a lot of them are homosexuals too, is what he's saying, and they slide in his DM. That's what he's saying.
Over might go as far as paying Louis Farrakhan's Fruit of Islam security force millions of dollars to protect Kyrie Irving. Unfortunately, Kyrie Irving thinks he's a Jew, not a woman. That's dangerous. That's aggressively discouraged in the NBA, which operates inside an American zeitgeist that aggressively polices the thoughts of black people. So the Brooklyn Nets suspended Irving for 8 games and apparently insisted he complete some sort of communist re-education program. Sunday afternoon, before he was allowed to take the court against the Memphis Grizzlies, Irving apologized a third time for tweeting a poster promoting a documentary that claims to reveal the true genealogy of American blacks. Take a listen.
With all that being said, I just want to offer my deep apologies to all those who are impacted over these last few weeks, specifically my Jewish relatives, my black relatives, all races and cultures. I feel like we all felt the impact, and I don't stand for anything close to hate speech or anti-Semitism or anything that is going against the human race. I feel like we all should have an opportunity to speak for ourselves when things are assumed about us. And I feel it was necessary for me to stand in this place and take accountability for my actions.
Let me go, Rodney King. Can we all get along now? Can we all move on? Is this over? Or how many more apologies is Kyrie going to have to do? I think many people in corporate media would love to move on from this. Their reaction to Irving has exposed the fraudulence of their revolutionary posturing and alleged desire to support the next Muhammad Ali. They've been exposed as gatekeepers and overseers. Their job is to police the thoughts of black men and prevent the rise of another Ali, Malcolm X, or even Martin Luther King Jr. The system rewards black men for claiming an allegiance to violent street gangs and penalizes black men who explore and or legitimately adhere to a religious faith that supports male leadership. Think about it. Had Kyrie Irving retweeted the movie Straight Outta Compton, a biographical drama celebrating the satanic rise of N-words with attitude and gangster rap music, there would be no controversy, zero. The NFL would ask him to crip walk at halftime of the Super Bowl. NWA released 2 albums, Straight Outta Compton in 1988 and N-Words for Life in 1991. The songs on both albums denigrate black people and promote immorality in every form. Corporate media used one song, F the Police, to argue that NWA was the West Coast version of Public Enemy. It's a joke and a lie. One song with a tiny kernel of truth does not justify the immorality preached on every other song. We don't apply that standard to other forms of art. Take, for instance, Hebrews to Negroes. The entire 3-hour documentary must be disavowed because 10 minutes of it meet the Anti-Defamations League of anti-Semitism. NWA's entire catalog meets any reasonable standard of anti-black denigration. But we can celebrate Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Ren, and Yella. Kyrie must be punished, though. The double standard makes no sense unless you understand that popular culture seduces and requires black men to support their own demise. Joe Biden says we're not black unless we endorse the abortion of our seed, the empowerment of the LGBTQ alphabet mafia, and the worship of the matriarchy. We must hate Donald Trump, even though we spent decades celebrating him in rap songs. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. I spent the past 2 weeks reading and talking about them, trying to get a better understanding of their beliefs. As best I can tell, their real agenda seems to be appealing to black men to live up to the laws and covenants spelled out in the Old Testament of the Bible. Some of them appear to be belligerent and racist. I've met and engaged with belligerent and bigoted Christians. Racial idolatry plagues mankind and all religious sects. I've yet to hear Kyrie Irving say anything that strikes me as bigoted. He tweeted a movie poster, and corporate media overreacted at the behest of people who, in my opinion, have grown tired of Irving taking independent actions that black men are not supposed to do. Sunday night, following the Grizzlies-Nets game, a reporter asked Kyrie if he would take responsibility for the 1,000 or so Hebrew Israelites protesting outside the Barclays Center. Irving declined to answer the question. Irving did not cause the protest. Brooklyn Nets owner Joseph Tsai caused the protest when he suspended Irving for tweeting a movie poster. Had Tsai and Adam Silver ignored Irving's harmless tweet and respected his free speech, there would be no controversy. Why didn't they ignore Irving? Because he could be a super spreader of independent thought. The puppet masters of popular culture don't want any of us, black or white, Jew or Gentile, rich or poor, waking up to how they restrict the freedoms granted us by our Creator. That's my fire. I want to play one more Kyrie clip. I want to play the exchange between Kyrie and two reporters when he declined to respond to their questions. I want to play that clip so that we can have some more context around this conversation before I bring Royce in. Can we play that clip?
Hey, Kyrie. There was a group of about 100 people outside wearing the shirt of a group called Israel United in Christ, a group labeled as a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. They were outside in support of you and handing out anti-Semitic literature on the plaza, people walking by. And I was wondering if I can get your reaction to that.
I didn't see it. What happened? There was a group outside?
There was a group outside, 100, possibly more. They were wearing a shirt called Israel United in Christ. They're a group labeled as a hate group by the...
I think that's a conversation for another day. I'm just here to focus on the game.
Kyrie, but you've said this whole time that you didn't know what kind of what kind of voice you had. But if these are the people that are out here in your name, do you feel like that's a consequence of what you've done?
Again, I'm just here to focus on the game.
The U.S. dollar is tanking right now because of inflation, and it's about to get much, much worse.
Kyrie should have told him hell no, because that's the game that they love to play. I mean, again, it's no different than what they did to Kanye, and they put 6 people out on a bridge. Talk about, oh, look, Kanye's words sparked these people to go on a bridge and do these anti-Semitic signs. It's no different than January 6th. Ray Epps and all the other FBI agents planted in that crowd to stir up BS about the January 6th protesters. We don't have to play their game. We can see the truth in terms of Kyrie Irving's actions didn't cause the Hebrew Israelites to come out and support him. Joseph Tsai's reaction, overreaction, all the little puppets on ESPN and Fox Sports and TNT that came out and shredded Kyrie Irving. That's what provoked the Hebrew Israelites to come out. These people are liars or they're blind. I want to play there's about a 58-second clip of the Hebrew Israelites marching in support of Kyrie Irving last night. And for this clown to sit up there was probably 100 people out there. Nah, that looked like thousands to me. Let's play that. This line goes on and 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 on forever. They basically surrounded the Barclays Center. There wasn't some hundreds, there were thousands out there. And you know what? I'm proud of them. Because this is what happens when the media fails to do its job. When the media strings up Kyrie Irving at the behest of the puppet masters, the people should rally up and support him. Because the media is failing to do its job. They don't have one shred of evidence of Kyrie Irving saying anything anti-Semitic. Not one thing. He retweeted a movie poster, and someone in the media with some common sense and a platform should have called BS on Joseph Tsai and the whole overreaction by the NBA and all these stipulations, and we got to re-educate Kyrie. But if the media is a coward and bought and paid for, thank God, and I don't care what religion they practice, thank God some men showed up and showed some support for Kyrie Irving. Royce, welcome to Fearless. Glad to have you back. And I say this tongue in cheek, but I really am not cracking a joke. If this man thought he was a woman, he would be better treated by the media than thinking he's a Jew. And that says something awful about our culture.
Cap, I remember you said that at a camp before, how, you know, it's not an uproar when you say that you are part of the alphabet community, right? It's not an uproar where you say that you want to marry a chair or a desk, right? That's not an uproar. There's no you know, uproar for that, right? You could say you are that. You could say you a 7-day Adventist. You could say you a Jehovah's Witness. You could say you a Muslim, right? You could say you're a Mormon, right? But you just cannot say that you are a Hebrew. You just can't say it. Absolutely not, right? So, you know, he had a pretty good, you know, analysis of, you know, what happened, you know, and, you know, our praises to the Most High that he's really exposing and bringing this truth out, man, right? I don't know if brothers, you know, I kind of want to see what the other brother wanted to say about it as well. If brothers, you know, still trying to, you know, watch it. I just want to see what the brother says on here. And I'm gonna keep going on that.
If he came out and said that he was a woman, they would build a statue of him outside the Barclays. They would build a statue of him, and they would build a rainbow walkway or crossway that leads to the statue and celebration and honor of how far our culture has come and how far the political discourse has come. You know, I think Black people, you know, we went back onto the plantation in 1968 when the Civil Rights Act was passed. We went back onto the plantation, and we've been on the plantation, and now we're getting jacked into an artificial intelligence matrix, and the algorithms tell us what we should and shouldn't think. And anybody who wants to wake up from that and think on their own is a target to be persecuted and dragged through the streets as an example.
I am watching this fallout to Kyrie Irving, and I'm like, hey, man, there's a policing of our particular thought. As Black men, we are not allowed to think certain things. And this connects to my entire narrative. Anybody that's listened to this show, and anybody that's listened to this show, I keep telling y'all, the Black man, religious man, has played an incredible role in the success of America. The Black religious man has been America's moral compass, holding this country accountable and making it live up to its highest ideals. And there is a group of people that hate this country, hate this Constitution that we live by, want to take our freedoms away from us, and they've devised a plan to silence Black men of any religious faith. Anybody that watches the show knows I'm a Christian. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. I'm a Christian. But I'm not. Men inspired by religious faith will stand on some principles that the secular just will not. And I think there is a calculated effort to control, and that's why Kyrie is such a target. They don't want Black men thinking independently. They don't want them thinking they can be self-sufficient. They don't want them thinking, hey, you're one of God's children. You're chosen just like everybody else. They want nothing to do with that, and that's why Kyrie's being mistreated.
No, at the end, he kind of brought it home, right? So all praise to the Most High, the brother. He brought it out, right? Not everybody is gonna believe that there is Israel. That's not our, we could just teach the word. But all praise to the Most High, the brother brought it out. I wanted to play this one last clip about how Malcolm X dealt with how he brought out when people try to claim Hebrews as anti-Hebrew, right, or Shem as anti-Shem. So I want to play this right quick for use in the chat.
anti-Semitic.
You've many of the things that I've read about you, and you've made a mention a couple of times about the Jews and everything, and I'm wondering if you are personally anti-Semitic.
No, how can I be anti-Semitic when the Arabs are half the Muslim world is Semitic? If I was anti-Semitic, I'd be anti-Arab and anti-everything else. No, I think that in this country, there's one mistake that the Jews make. They put themselves in a position where whenever anybody gives an objective analysis of the role that they play, they defend themselves by accusing you of being anti-Semitic. And a Negro is not anti-Semitic when he says that the man who's exploiting him in his community is white, because it is a white man who owns all the stores. Now, is it an accident that these whites who own these stores are Jewish? If it's an accident, then the fact that he says the Jew on the corner is exploiting me isn't an anti-Semitic statement. It's just more descriptive of the man who's exploiting him.
All praise to the Most High. And I was also thinking, I don't know if brothers is familiar with the song No Vaseline, but when you watch that video, when he's dissing, I forgot who he's dissing in the video. I don't know if he's dissing Eazy-E or dissing the rest of.
It was Eazy-E and Jerry Heller.
When he's dissing them, if you watch the video, he's telling them like, yo, y'all let a quote unquote, Jewish man, right, break up the crew. And I kind of wanted to, it was kind of, it's really very interesting how even when you watch that movie or watch the video NWA, he's talking about how it was really because of a 13th tribe, member that pretty much started the rift between them. And I kind of wanted to just bring out the lyrics just to kind of show how this has been something that's been happening for ages, man. God, I know that Ice Cube is going crazy. But let me see. Let's see. I wanted to start at. All right, I'll start it right here. It says, I'll be sensitive, right, for the family. Right, it says, get rid of that devil. Real simple. Right, he's talking about what's that man's called? What's his name?
Jerry Heller. Jerry Heller.
Right, Jerry Heller. Right. He says, get rid of that devil. Real simple. Put a bullet in his temple, because you can't be the nigga for life crew with with the white Jew telling you what to do. Right. So I mean, Kanye was right. This is one of the powerful. This is. If I'm not mistaken, I want to kind of just check the historical accuracy of it. But if I'm not mistaken, if I can recall the movie, was it Dre that first met the man that kind of pushed his music? I forgot his name, right? But essentially, one of the people that kind of put NWA on was a person from the 13th tribe community, right? So it's like you can't deny what's evident. Right, you can't deny what's already been established as the truth. So all praise to the Most High. We see this truth is going out. All praise to the Most High for everybody that was enduring. Through Thanksgiving. Had to deal with thousands of people posting that their plates of food and trying to bring a clean thing out of something that's unclean, right? So, all praise to the Most High that, at Israel, that you continue to endure into the end, stay in the spirit, walk in the spirit. We pray that everybody continues to tune into the videos, like, shares, and subscribes. All praise to the Most High. Shout out to the brothers from, Watchmen for Israel, Orlando. We had a beautiful unity camp. The brothers, it's just family. It's like meeting up with family, man. So, all praise to the Most High that, he allows us to continue to, gather together in brother and sister and have that unity. So we shout out to also IUIC for for that protest and that demonstration of the spirit and power, man, right? Helping push this truth to the four corners of the earth, right? We love our brothers that continue to help us push this truth, that push that was waking up the children of Israel, right? We have to acknowledge that and recognize that, right? Whether it's us or them, all praise to the Most High that our people is waking up, right? Let me just get 1 Corinthians 15:11, Baba Gusha. Right, 1 Corinthians 15:11. So it's a beautiful thing, like that we are making noise as the children of Israel, right? That these are the men that's turning the world upside down, right? Acts 17:6. So we see our people, is waking up, man, right? That we have that army, the Most High's army out there waking up our people in support of our people, right? Whether it's us or them, right? Give me the book of 1 Corinthians 15:11, Baba Gashar.
Con, this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 11. Therefore, whether it were I or they,
right? Whether it will be LOZ, Salaki, whether it be LOZ, right? Whether it be IUIC, whether it be SOT, right? Whether it be Watchmen for Israel, whether it be I or they, keep going.
Con, whether it be I or they, so we preach, and so ye believe.
And that's the whole purpose of it, right? Whether it be us or them, we preach, and so we believe, right? We walk in the same spirit, we walk in the same steps, right? Teaching the children of Israel who we are, right? Give me the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 18. Right? The book of Corinthians, let me get there right quick. 2 Corinthians, let me get there right quick. Right, it's a beautiful thing to see our brothers out there teaching the truth, man, waking up our people, making noise, man. Right, until this gospel was preaching to the end of the earth. Right, let me get that. If I'm not mistaken, 2 Corinthians, 12 and 18.
Con, this is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 18. I desired Titus, and with him I sent a brother. Did Titus make a gain of you?
Right, so he says, I desired Titus, and with him I sent a brother. Did Titus make a gain of you? Meaning what? Right, when we send our brothers, when our brothers are being sent out, when we send our brothers to come teach his word, did he make a gain of you? Did we win that soul over? Right, did we bring that brother back to the Most High? Right, keep going.
Walk we not in the same spirit?
Right, even though we might come from different camps, right? Even though we might be from different camps, we have different banners and things like that. But don't we walk? But walked we not in the same spirit? Keep going.
Walk we not in the same steps?
Why? We walk in the same steps, and those steps of a Mashiach Yahushua, right? Following his word and his word only, right? That's a beautiful thing about this truth, right? The unity of brethren of these things that's beautiful in the eyes of the Most High, right? All praise to the Most High, to the Bible, everybody's in Jacob. We appreciate everybody that continues to donate and send in their donations. The water for everybody that continues to donate. We appreciate every donation. We're trying to build a school, $7 drive, to try to build a school in Lee County, Fort Myers, right? So we can have a home for our people. To water for everybody that continues to tune in, like and sharing the video, man. Right? That's all we ask, so we can kind of, push this algorithm so we continue to wake up the family of the Most High. All praise to the Prophet, everybody's like Jacob. If brothers has any closing statements, you can kind of, say your piece. Any brothers wanted to say anything after that?
I don't have anything to say. I'm good. Oh, actually, I do. I have a precept I wanted to bring out. Dang it, what was it? Oh man, I think it was Exodus chapter 17. 17 and 15 is what it was. No, that's not it. That's not it. Hold on one second.
I had a precept.
Go ahead, King.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians. Give me 1 second. So, 1 Corinthians. Book of 1 Corinthians 1 Corinthians 10 and 17, King.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 17. For we being many are one bread.
So that lets you know that all these different camps are trying to be in the same mind and same spirit at the end of the day. We're getting that one bread from Mashiach Yahushua, right? Read.
And one body.
We have one body, man. A lot of people say like we got different doctrines, we got this going on. No, at the end of the day, we know we have to wake up our people before we get the hell out of here, right? That's the main goal. That's our main mission, man. We all got to be one body, right? Read.
For we are all partakers of that one bread.
And at the end of the day, we're all partakers in Hamashiach Yahushua through Yahweh. I mean, in Yahweh through Yahushua.
Powerful precept.
Let me get Exodus 17 and 16 real quick. wanted to kind of go back.
Con, I dropped out. Salak. But basically what I was saying was that you know, we're all partakers of a Mashiach Yahushua, man. You know, that one bread. You know, so just remember this. Stay in the spirit, man, and stay on fire.
Con, hallelujah. Con. This is the book of Exodus, Salaki. You said 17 and 16?
That's it.
Con. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 17, verse 16. For he said, because the Most High has sworn that the Most High will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
So now, touching on that particular scripture, this is what we're seeing. It's been going on since Genesis, right? I'm sorry, since Exodus. This has been going on, and we're all the way in the last days. And when you look at our nemesis, our main adversary, it's those that have stolen our identity, those that have given us a different identity, told us that we were this, call us a color, call us a hairstyle, right? And they've stolen our identity, and they're walking around calling themselves our name, by our name. So this is why the Most High says that we're going to have war with Amalek from generation into generation until we've defeated them and we take our rightful place back into rulership and calling ourselves by the name of the Most High. So this is prophecy being fulfilled.
Con, all praises. All praise to the power of every brother and Jacob. The water for everybody tuning in. Continue to like, share, and subscribe to all our channels in Lee County. We appreciate everybody that continues to tune in. You know, we appreciate all the new followers that came in as well. You know, if you learned something, you know, just drop it in the chat. You know, we want to be able to wake up our people and feed our people with the wisdom of the Most High, right? So, you know, if anybody has any, questions, comments, or concerns, definitely reach out to us. You know, we'll try our best to give you a biblically sound, accurate answer, through the inspiration of the Most High. Continue to, like, share, and subscribe to all our videos. We have an email here, a phone number, so you can contact us for any questions, comments, or concerns. Remember the Cash App, LOZLeeCounty, $10. It's like a $7 drive, continue to, Cash App so we can continue to wake up our people, and push to truth. The water for everybody that continues to watch the videos, like, share, and subscribes, and turn on post notifications. Right. And with that, we say shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel and death and destruction of Babylon. Shalom.
Shalom.
Oh.
Con.